Hey guys, today I'm going to be installing an HID kit from retrofitsource.com. I bought a 3.5 H11 5000K bulb kit with the 3.5 amp ballast, the H11 single out motorcycle harness, and this was all special ordered from retrofitsource.com for just about $100. Here is the box. You see the Morimoto, I got the 3.5, which means it's the 35 watt amp kit. They do have the 55 watt kit, but for the motorcycle I did opt to go with the lower version. So here, taking out the ballast. Let me just mention as a disclaimer, I have not tested anything or have ever done this before, so we're going through it as I first go through it with you. So here we got the ballast. It's the 3.5, and as you can see here, it's got a flush mounting kit with the screws here. You got there's two smaller screws in there where you put in here to mount this bracket to the ballast itself, and then you get that bigger screw there to go through one of these mounting options here. They did say you can use double-sided tape, so I did go out and get automotive grade double-sided tape in case I needed it. Now, the bulb itself came like this. So you can see on the label here, 35 watt 5000K H11. So there are all the connectors. Here's the pass-through wires. I have no idea what this stuff is, so we'll figure it out. And then the bulb. Do not touch it with your fingers or any part of your body for that matter. The oils will decrease the bulb life, so I put on these creepy exam gloves that I have. Put that back in there. And then along with that came the adapters or the plugs to get to the battery. So here are the two ends to that to screw down to the battery. And then there's an inline fuse with the fuse already in it. And then it goes to this contraption. Don't really know exactly what it is yet. And then coming out of it is a connector here. Then there was also business card, Retrofit Source. This website says theretrofitsource.com, but the decal just says Retrofit Source, so they both go to the same place. And on the back, hidplanet.com, forums, news and reviews, contests, things like that. And then there were two alcohol prep wipes. And then you already saw the decal. I wish that I could pick, because my bike is black and white, and I would have picked a white one, and then I would have put it on my bike. But this blue one isn't really going to work for me. So the first thing I did, I popped out my instrument cluster here, and on the GSXR, there's a screw down here in the bottom for the cluster. That was an Allen wrench, the same exact size used to take out the seat bolts. And then on the back here, you'll see there's two like little prongs that you gotta just pop it out from the back, and then it's attached with this guy right here. So I'm looking for a little clip. Just gonna wiggle it. Let's see. It's a little difficult with these dang gloves on. Oh, jeez. see what we got going on here. Oh, it looks like there is a tab on the bottom. Can I get it? Okay, so there it goes. Hopefully you get it out without breaking it. So I'll set this aside. Okay, now I'm going to take out the original bulb. I'm just going to turn it counterclockwise. And pull it out. I'm going to use this flathead to push the tab out. There we go. So there's a little tab holding that in. You have to lift it, you have to go up with it. So that's the old bulb. The guy before me had a blue one in it, so I wasn't even getting the best light output that I could have. They have a kit, or they have a version available that tells you if this bigger tab that right now is on top, if that is in a certain position when you go to screw it in, it puts this little bar thing here on the bottom. That way when it projects the light up and out, it doesn't cause a shadow. Sometimes if you don't get the kit, when you go to turn it in clockwise, it will go from here upwards, and then since the light gets projected up and out, this part right here will all become a shadow in your beam pattern. So I looked it up, and it said if the clip, I believe, was to the bottom, I think. I'm not quite sure. I don't remember it. I did it a couple weeks ago, but basically it's going to go in like this and then turn like that, so it will be on the bottom. First of all, I believe this was just for shipping, so I'm going to take this little foam thing off. Let's look in here. I know you probably don't get the best view in here, but there's really not too much room to work with. So I'm just going to go in on the left side on an angle like this, and then once I put it in the housing, kind of just turn it over and get it locked in there. So let me take a look at where this big tab is. Looks like mine is on the right, so it's going to be like that. When I go to lock it in, that beam will be on the bottom. So that's good. I ordered the right one. Okay, let's get that guy in there. Okay, so it's in place. So I'm just gonna undo it, line it back up, twist it back in there. Yep, that's in there. Okay, coming out of the back of the relay right here, there's two. The one, which is the shorter one, which I thought was a testing one, and the other end has those two little C-hook things that go onto the battery. So what had to happen was this testing one that I thought had to plug back into the original housing, OEM housing for the headlight, the old bulb. The other end goes to the battery. And then the single end that comes out of the relay goes into the female connector on the ballast. And then the pieces that I didn't use was this male and these two little clip things here that go through this grommet. He said that those are only for when there's a housing that the headlight bulb is in. So like if all these wires were inside, I would have to I would have to use these. So basically I can probably cut these off or just drill a hole in my little grommet thing down there and take these out, because this whole unit thing here is not needed. This connector just goes around and comes out right here if I couldn't get to this little OEM housing thing there, which then these two prongs will go into the OEM one, and then this would come back out and plug into who knows where. But now if you see, I'll turn it on, or I won't because this is blocking it. So I'll turn it on, and the headlight is not on right now because I do not have it plugged in on the battery, but I'll plug it in. I don't know how wide the camera sees, but you might be able to hear the ballast kick in. I'll go ahead and plug it in now. There it goes. So it hums for a little bit, and then right about now I can't hear it, and the light is insanely greater than my previous light. Even though I'm inside during the day in my garage with those tube lights above me, it's night and day difference on the garage door. So there you go. It takes about 3 to 5 seconds to completely warm up. If you're watching this, you probably already have researched that's why you don't want to use it as high beams, because you lose your pass ability to flicker the lights. And you see right now it's pretty bright. That's about as bright as it's going to get. So now my job is to find hiding spots for all of this and mount it up. So let's see where we want to start. I think I'm gonna cut this grommet off because I don't need it and it's just causing problems. So let me get some scissors or a knife or something. Okay, so there's the piece that you would use if the original housing or the original bulb connector was inside a housing. So I just cut that out. Okay, so as you can see, everything is back together. What I had to do was I mounted the relay over here. I'll move the camera around and show it to you. It's out of the way when you turn the bar all the way each way. Just used some zip ties and followed some other cables going through the middle to plug into that OEM connector and then into the bulb. So they just go right through the forks right here, following I believe it's a couple brake cables, it looks like. They come through here and around and this and that. Going down the side of the bike, from the relay to the battery, so I have constant power and it doesn't drain off of the stock system, is I have it coming down the side fairing, and then it goes right about the end of the tank area. It cuts back in and then comes up on the front of the seat and just plugs right into the battery. I have an LED kit on the bike, so I just kind of followed my wires that I did before. It's above the rear shock, so it's nothing gonna mess up. I'll take the camera out and go a little bit more personal. And I'll unplug from my mic so I can follow myself around without having to bring that. Okay, so for now, just to test everything out, I just use a couple zip ties to hold that ballast on, and you can see it moves around, but it stops right there. It can't go the other way. It always falls that way, and it stops there, and it's out of the way. Once everything vibrates a couple rides and gets settled, and I make sure it's not all gonna fall out, I'll just center it up, and then use my 3M double-sided tape. I used it on my LED strip here when I put it on, and I don't even know how I'm gonna get this thing off. It's on there good. Coming around the side here, you'll see here's the wire. So I pulled it down so you could see. It sits up in there. There's the relay, the little box there. That is double-sided tape on there. That's on there good. You want to give it a good 24 to 48 hours to cure before you actually go around and doing stuff. As you can see here, some of the cables that went through, I kind of just followed them up and then zip tied everything in up there just so it's out of the way. Just use common sense. So here I have it come up and around, and right around here it goes into the frame so it doesn't stick out here. It actually goes behind this LED strip here, which wasn't glued the best. When I pushed it up there with a paper towel to keep pressure on it, the paper towel stuck to the glue and it ripped off. And then it comes around there. You can see that that is for my LED wire. If you can see it, there's a wire just right there, and then right behind it are my wires for the HID kit. And then it just goes right up here and plugs in to the battery. So that stuff's fine. I'll just turn it on. And if you can notice it on the camera, as you can see, it got brighter, and another 2 or 3 seconds it will fully max out. And there is the final product. Oh, I also, while I was in there, I replaced my position light with a white LED one. Looks a little weird when it's off if you come up close because there's a little yellow on it, but it works. So there you have it.